Basics, Part 7 of Gods and Nature. Who are you? I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower. This is, of course, Part 7 of our Basics series. And we're going to be talking about gods. We're going to be talking about nature. And we're going to be talking about who you are and how you find out and discover more about who you are. Because remember, you're here to love yourself and your neighbor as yourself. And I think that knowing more about yourself will help you love yourself even more. This is my third attempt at making this video. The first attempt, there was no sound, and we got hijacked. Second attempt just didn't work. I don't know if it has to do with the atmospheric conditions here in Florida. We are in the midst of some really bad storms, or if it's just gremlins, but we're going to talk about it here. And there's a couple of opportunities for hijacking. I'm not going to permit the hijacking, and we ask you to be courteous. So we're talking about some basics within our spiritual walk. So let's take a look at this. And the base that we're coming off of here is, and this picks up on number 6, so you have to watch the other 6 to get really where we are. The gods said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, for seasons, for days, and for years." And this is where we had the two competing camps jump out. Number one, this show is not about what the firmament is. Don't care what you think it is. Not interested in what you think it is right now. Halt small, which German is a nice way of saying shut up. We're not talking about the firmament in this broadcast. I am linking in the box below my 4-part series on the flat round question regarding the earth, but we're not talking about the firmament here. What we are talking about is whatever the firmament is, there were placed in the firmament signs, seasons, days. There were placed lights in there, the planets, the constellations, the sun, the moon, the stars were placed there for you to be able to have them for signs, seasons, days, and years. Now, let's address the other children. Oh, you said that there can't be any signs because signs are from Jesuits, and you inducted people into the Jesuit Hall of Fame for talking about signs. Oh, you guys, I'm telling you, you're junkies. You're addicts. You got to have your itchy ears and your little tummy scratched. You are addicts. So let's stop for a minute and let's go back to basics and help these folks out that just don't want to get past this. So we're going to address this for you, and we're going to make it simple, and we're going to make it easy to understand so everyone can know exactly what we're talking about, and we can move on with some real teaching, and we can get past the silliness. So that's what we're going to do here. And I love everybody, but some of you people are straining. You're on my last nerve. All right. We're not going to talk about the firmament. Whatever you think it is, great. We're not talking about that here. You can comment on the video that I'm linking below, and I'll give you a full discussion. I'm going to try to get Rex Bear to have an open discussion with me. We're going to talk about flat earth, round earth, and we're going to have an objective discussion back and forth about it. But here's what we're talking about. 1:14. God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven. Let them be for signs." What does 1:14 mean? I'm going to show you that this is not what the Christ was talking about, because number one, he's not a hypocrite. But Genesis 1:14, signs, right? It's not really signs like we think of them. These are standards, banners that are there always, omens that are there always, pledges, witnesses, standards, things that are there permanently and forever, things that are there before any man, woman, boy, girl, things that are there from the beginning. In Luke 17, this is the problem. You got a Pharisaic Jesuit mindset. You're coming like Pharisees, demanding. Look what that word demanding means. I want to show you this. Demanding. Moreover, having been asked by the Pharisees, interrogated. Can you imagine interrogating the Christ? So they're interrogating the Christ, Over what? They're interrogating the Christ over what question are they interrogating the Christ over? When will the kingdom of God come? What should we look for that shows us the rapture's coming, that shows us the temple's going to rebuild, that shows us the red heifer's coming, that shows us that the asteroid is going to smash into Earth? What sign should we be looking for? You know, that's what they're asking, because the Christ said to them, listen, you bunch of junkies. The kingdom of God doesn't come with observation. There's nothing for you to say, look over here, look over there, you bunch of junkies. That's the Christ saying it. Why? Because the kingdom of God is in you. In other words, the kingdom of God has already come and it's within you. And let's look at the word here that says the kingdom of God doesn't come with observation. Verse number 20. And I hate having to do this, but I got to do it because it's part of the do that I got to do to get people to where we need them to go. This is about getting to maturity. This is about getting off the junk. This is about not being an addict anymore. And he said, it doesn't come with careful observation. What's he saying? He's saying, you can't watch for it. You can't carefully watch for it. You can't observe it. They're not signs to be observed. They're not something that you look for. It's from the word prerateo, which means to watch, to observe scrupulously. He's saying you shouldn't be doing that. Now, of course, he is the Christ. He's one of the ones that was there when the Moad of Genesis 1:14 were created. So, of course, he's not saying, don't look at the Moad. He's saying those are standards. Those have been there forever. You guys are trying to say that things are coming up in the future. Those are the things that are Jesuit doctrine. Just remember this. Anybody that teaches you that anything in the book of Daniel or the book of Revelation is future is teaching Jesuit doctrine. They're a liar, and if you like hearing it, you're a junkie. End of story. Okay, now let's get back to some actual real teaching of what we're here for. Because the thing about it is, it's not what this is, and it's not what those are. What's important is the fact that Peter says, and this goes to all of us, of a truth I perceive that the gods are no respecter of persons, but in every nation they have them which fear them, and work righteousness and are accepted with them. Within the traditions and epic literature of every nation and culture, there is to be found something of lasting spiritual benefit. Let me say that again. Don't care about your firmament. Don't care about your favorite Jesuit teacher and your itching ears. Here's the point of this teaching. Within the traditions and epic literature of every nation and culture, there is to be found something of lasting spiritual benefit. And big time religion is here to prevent you from realizing that benefit. Paul in Galatians says, now that you've known God, why are you turning again to weak and beggarly elements, wherein you desire again to be in bondage? What do you think that means? And I wasn't sharing. I'll wait. What do you think that means? Let me share it for you now so you can see it. Why are you going back to weak and what are the weak and beggarly elements? If you've had any exposure to Christianity, you think those weak and beggarly elements are falling back into Jewish legalism. They're not. And they're demonstrably not. And Paul, by using this verse, Paul and Christianity launched the first jihad, which continues today. The first and greatest cultural cleansing, ethnic cleansing, cultural destruction that started with Paul, picked up speed with Constantine, and is continuing even to this day. How do you know, Jeff? Well, what was Paul the apostle to? I'll wait. He said it himself. I'm the apostle